Stone Johnson, an Olympic sprinting athlete and a running back on the Kansas City Chiefs, went out for a block on return during a preseason game on August 30th. The only problem? He suffered a fractured vertebrae that would kill him 8 days later on August 8th. His number 33 was retired by the Kansas City Chiefs later. He was only 23 years old. Can we make football safer? This is a question that everyone asks after they've seen the brutal hits and the brain-related deaths. I believe this is possible with the right decisions. And it all starts with a few rule changes. We can eliminate kickoffs. A loved and exciting part of the game, but concussions that in the NFL and every other level of play come on kickoffs. Avoiding these high-speed collisions will greatly reduce the concussion issue. It would also help to have an independent doctor on the sideline to evaluate a player every hit. It is also recorded that 75% of brain-related deaths come in high school football. And at Virginia Tech, scientist Gunnar Bromlinson is working on helmets that will help reduce the risk of a concussion. The first helmet he's producing has better helmet material that allows the helmet to bend in a way that will prevent a head and a neck injury. The second helmet he is developing has a lightened helmet that will light up if a player has maybe gotten a concussion. The reason it can light up is because it can track the speed of the hit and tell if it was fast enough for the player to be able to sustain a concussion. At the beginning of football, when it was still developing, there were no helmets, and the risk of death was huge for players. When Anissa Ramirez talked about this one time, she said, back when Teddy Roosevelt was president, 18 people died because of football, and they were all skull fractures. She said, luckily, Teddy Roosevelt, since he loved football, stepped in and made new rules to make it safer, and that included a helmet. But as they supposedly made them safer with the first face mask to the modern helmet, it only made hits more violent because when they learned it was really hard to break their nose, they started hitting the players with their head. That started the concussion epidemic. With the dangerous rise in concussions per year compared to the 60s, players have also talked about how when a 250-pound man can run a 4.5 40-yard dash, the risk of a concussion to the ball carrier or the person who makes the hit is sky high. Football is one of the 13 sports that have a high risk of a spinal injury, and a way to help reduce this type of brutal injury is a backplate. You attach it to your pads and the risk of the injury goes down a little, but it doesn't necessarily eliminate it. In football, the most frequent deaths actually occur during tackling, or being tackled. And that's pretty scary considering the fact that millions of people in the US play football alone. Football is also the leading cause of CTE, brain damage or memory loss. Eliminating kickoffs might be the way to go because most concussions actually happen on kickoffs. Because you have players running straight at you full speed before you even touch the ball. Some of the better ideas going around are these. Require more equipment on players. Make mouth guards mandatory. In all levels of play, sit the player who sustained the concussion for 1 week after they are evaluated for it, even if they feel fine, just to be safe, and to further support the fund to make helmets better and reduce the amount of concussions per year. If we make these changes, lives will be saved, while at the same time the thrill of the game is not reduced. Hopefully all the questions you ever wanted to know have been solved. Thank you.